I have found 5 powerful lessons from AFCON 2023 that I believe we all need to apply in life. The 2023 African Cup of Nations appears to be one of the most dramatic tournaments in football. It came with unimaginable upset, tremendous show of determination, and key moments that we'll not forget in a long time. But hidden behind all that drama, I found 5 breathtaking takeaways that I believe are essential for life. And that is what I want to share with you today. But I hope, I really hope, and I think I need your prayer because number 5 is quite controversial, but I hope it doesn't get me into trouble. So yeah, say that prayer for me before you continue watching the video. By the way, my name is Ebenezer Agbequest. This is Eqay Inspire YouTube channel. On this channel, we extract crucial life lessons from important life stories. Lesson number 1, overly respecting a higher rank devalues you and strips you of your true potential. In this AFCON 2023, there were a lot of small teams that refused to show respect to the pedigree and the kind of experience the big teams had. And this caused the small teams to exhibit their potential to levels that many people did not imagine and see coming. And so, coming into the AFCON, FIFA ranking said that the top 5 teams in Africa were Morocco, Senegal, Tunisia, Algeria, and Egypt. But guess what? These countries were eliminated by South Africa, Ivory Coast, Namibia, Mauritania, and DR Congo. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't stop there. See, the teams that topped all the 6 groups in this AFCON, the leaders in all the 6 groups, all lost matches and failed to qualify for the semi-final of the competition. The reason why the small teams eliminated these giants was because they showed little respect. I mean, there were times when even the statistics of the match will tell you that it's not that there was some lucky incident that the small teams had that made them eliminate these big teams. They actually, in many cases, outplayed them, had more ball possession, had more shots on target, and actually all the metrics pointed in the direction that these teams just did not have any respect for the giants. And that was what brought out their true potential. What can you learn from this? In your life and in business, there are times when you are going to come face to face with certain giants in your industry or in your environment, if it's your personal life. And you have to match toe to toe with them because what these teams have shown us is that determination and resilience can sometimes match toe to toe with high levels of experience. So in order to portray your true potential, you don't have to be intimidated by these giants when you come face to face with them in your life or in your business. You have to set aside some of the respect you have for them. It is not that you disrespect them, but you set aside some of the respect so that you don't end up feeling intimidated to the extent that it makes you lower your potential and bring out less than what you could actually bring forth. In a real life example, that maybe you have a chance of speaking at an event where the other co-speakers are professors or top industry leaders who are experts in their field with years of experience under their belt. You are a young man who is supposed to speak there as well. If you're not careful, you will feel intimidated to the point that you will end up delivering less than you are capable of. But recognizing this lesson from the small teams in this AFCON, which is to set aside some of the respect you have for these giants, you can actually prepare very well and go with full confidence, deliver a speech that might turn out to be the best and most impactful and memorable speech of that day. So the lesson is, whenever you come to encounter a higher rank, recognize that overly respecting them strips you of some of the dignity and the potential that you carry. So you have to set aside some of that respect in order to bring forth your true potential. Lesson number 2 is that our time will soon be over. I watched Asamoah Gyan, Didier Drogba, and Cameroon's Samuel Eto'o. These legends were at the AFCON 2023 and they watched from the stands where their teams were humiliated. Asamoah Gyan was there when Cape Verde punished Ghana by 2-1. Samuel Eto'o was there when his team was eliminated. Didier Drogba witnessed the humiliation of Cote d'Ivoire by Equatorial Guinea with 4-0. And you could see how sober they were in those moments. And I asked myself, what were they thinking? Because just a few years back, these people could actually march onto that field and cause massive change just with their presence alone. But today, they have the same passion, they have the same talent, they have the same experience, but life has pushed them to a part where they can't even play a part. I mean, they don't even qualify to be on the bench of the squad representing their country. In your life and business, you have to recognize that there are certain opportunities you have, certain privileges you enjoy currently that will soon be taken away from you. And so you have to make the most of what you have right now, because very soon you will be in a place where you will not have a part to play, and you may not even have the chance to even watch, because life is happening, life is moving. So recognize that the chances you have right now, the opportunities at your disposal, the privileges you enjoy, they are not going to last forever, because life is going on, life is moving. So make the most of it, because our time will soon be over. Lesson number 3 from AFCON 2023. Never declare a loss for yourself. Ivory Coast at the group stages of the competition looked like one of the teams that were surely not going to make it close to the trophy. First of all, they lost 2 matches in that group stage. They won only one. They lost 4-0 to Equatorial Guinea, 1-0 to Nigeria. Many people counted them off, especially when right after progressing from the group stage, they were to meet the defending champions, the giants of Africa currently. Senegal was a perfect team, topped their group, were looking like they were in top shape, and they were coming into that competition to win. But guess what? Even though it looked like Ivory Coast were written off, they had no chance at all. I mean, it even got so serious that they had to sack their coach. I mean, when Equatorial Guinea beat Ivory Coast 4-0, the fans looked like they had lost hope in the competition. So they sacked their coach and they left the team for the assistant coach who had never managed any senior national team before. So it all looked hopeless. But then Ivory Coast went into that match with Senegal, managed to beat Senegal against all odds. After that, they kept moving one step at a time and ended up lifting the trophy in what some commentators described as a fairy tale unfolding of events. What does this tell you? Look, there are certain times in life where it looks like, look, at this stage, there is nothing you can do anymore. Where people write you off, people tell you that it's too late for you, you are too old, you are unable to do this anymore. You look at the situation, the circumstances, the people you're supposed to compete with, and it looks like no, it cannot be done. But never declare a loss for yourself. That is the lesson. No matter how hopeless it looks, you may look like you're even going to die the next minute. But so far as you are not dead yet, don't declare a loss for yourself. Don't accept that for yourself, because you do not know what glory might come out of you still fighting. But the moment you just accept it, you cancel out whatever your effort might yield, because upsets in life are going to always happen. There's a reason why somebody came up with a quote that wonders shall never end. Okay, so don't rule out the fact that there can be a wonder in your way, that there is glory lurking in the corner for you. Never declare a loss for yourself. No matter how hopeless the situation looks, no matter how unimaginable it may look that you have a better future, never declare a loss for yourself, because you may never know what glory awaits you if you just keep trying and putting in the same zeal and the same effort. Lesson number 4. Intentionally perfecting a rare skill makes you outstanding in your field. Ronwen Williams, who is the South African goalkeeper, saved 4 out of 5 penalties to secure South Africa a place in the semi-final stage of AFCON 2023. In a post-match discussion, he mentioned that it was a backroom training purposely targeted to make him outstanding and able to save those penalties that yielded that result. He was not the only one who displayed such infallibility. Jordan Ayew scored his 12th penalty in his career, and he played 12 in total. So he scored 100% of all the penalties he has ever taken in his career. Fatau Dauda mentioned that in training, Jordan Ayew showed his technique in taking penalties, when sometimes he will ask Fatau Dauda to stand in the post and try to catch his penalty.
Jordan, when I was in the nations, sometimes after training, the coach will give 15 minutes for individual workout. He play penalty with me. He said, Lion, if you save one, I will give you $50. Sunny.
And he gives you...
I can't save it.
taking a penalty. It's a skill that has made many teams lose their positions in top places. And a young man like Jordan Ayew could perfect this skill so much that it sets him apart and makes him outstanding in that field. The lesson here is that in your life and business, look around and you will find certain challenges that many people face. It could be in your business, in your circle of friends, in your family, around you, in your environment. There are certain peculiar challenges people face because there is a certain skill they lack. If you can just take your time, go behind closed doors, perfect the skill, work on yourself in that area, make sure that you are in a place where that challenge doesn't cripple you too. You will be surprised how outstanding that can make you be on big days. So that is it. Lesson number 4 from this AFCON 2023 is that perfect a rare skill and it will make you outstanding in your field. Lesson number 5, which is the controversial one, is that bad decisions can make life work against you. Ghana is a country that is blessed with football talents right from under 12 to the national team. But lately, there has been a lot of scandals that have engulfed Ghana national football or Ghana football in general. And although we cannot give hard evidence to some of these claims, they have been reported from innumerable sources, and many of them being insiders, that it is impossible to deny the allegations. And I believe that it is because of this that life decided to work against Ghana and stop Ghana from progressing whenever we go for certain competitions. It happened at the World Cup, it happened at the last AFCON, and it happened in this 2023 AFCON as well. In fact, in this AFCON 2023, I can count 5 clear instances where the natural unfolding of events could have made Ghana qualify to the next stage of the competition. But there had to be something that would go wrong. There had to be a situation that would turn things in the other way just so that Ghana failed to qualify. Let me give you the instances. The first one was when Majid Ashimeru, in our first match against Cape Verde, played an outstanding shot that ended at the back of the net but had to be ruled out as offside. How many times have you witnessed that kind of offside happen where another player is in the exact path that the shot was traveling such that he obstructs the view of the keeper? When have you ever seen that? Because that was my first time seeing that kind of situation being an offside in football. So, and you have to remember that if that goal had gone in, it is very likely that Ghana would have qualified to the next stage of the competition. So it had to go wrong. The second thing that went wrong was still in that match where an unexplainable loose ball situation just got the ball in the back of the net so that we lose that match. And it happened so late in the match that there could not be a comeback for Ghana, and we lost 2-1 to Cape Verde. Now, that also had to happen, and it was, you cannot explain it. And you have to recognize that if that did not happen as well, Ghana would have had a clear chance of qualifying to the next stage of the competition. In the second match, we brought on Mohamed Kudus, a tremendous player, and he put in his best to score 2 fantastic goals. But they had to be ruled out. Not ruled out, but equalized, just so that Ghana loses the opportunity to qualify to the next stage of the competition. And the manner in which these goals were scored will tell you that it is something that, like, it cannot be explained. How do professional players commit these errors when they themselves were so passionate to make things turn the other way? Because ahead of this competition, you should listen to Inaki Williams. He was so optimistic, so committed to coming to make an impact for Ghana. Same thing for Osman Bukari, because the time he came in, he was coming to replace Inaki Williams, who had made an error. So even the natural, any human being coming to replace another person who had just committed an error would be, vigilant not to do the same thing. But they had no choice. There was something pushing these things to happen. And I believe that it is life just working things against Ghana. So those were number 3 and number 4, committed by Inaki Williams and Osman Bukari. The 5th incident was the most shocking of all, where Ghana was just one kick away from getting a place in the next stage of the competition. But something had to go wrong. And so a loose ball situation that is going outside, our keeper rushed for it and later decided to change his mind and ended up just touching the ball, conceding a corner. And this corner was cleanly converted like it was in a textbook. For a goalkeeper with the experience of Richie Dufori, you cannot explain how that would happen, because you cannot convince me that he was not aware of the situation that day. You cannot explain it. And so it is clear that something Like all these situations that caused Ghana not to progress were not necessarily because of bad performance, but there was something clearly causing these things to happen, and they are too repetitive to be coincidental. So I am convinced that the things that are not going on well in Ghana football is the reason that life has decided to work against the country. Because look at even the World Cup. If Inaki Williams had scored that goal against Portugal in the late stage of the match, we would have secured a draw, which would have put us in a good position to qualify to the next stage of the competition. So he had to slip. It cannot be explained. It had to happen because we had to lose that match so that we do not progress to the next stage of the competition. The AFCON before that, look at the game against Comoros. If you go back and watch, we had to concede a red card, which gave us a flat tire going forward and gave Comoros a chance to win. So these things had to happen, and so my advice for you is that if you have to execute any task in your life, do it with all genuineness, all authenticity, all honesty. Because when you get to a place where your misappropriation cause life to decide to work against you, the reason why I am so convinced is that God is the one who instituted the laws of nature. And these laws of nature are supposed to guide us in a way that, like, you reap what you sow, that it looks like there's reward for doing good and all. So there's a point where you can get to where your misappropriation get to a level that warrants a certain feedback from the laws of nature that says that no, you are not getting this. No, this is not working for you. And so my advice for you is that don't misappropriate things to the point where life decides to work against you. Because if you get there, no matter how much talent, hard work, and dedication you choose to bring forth on a big day, something will go wrong. There is nothing you can do about it, no matter how hard you try. These are the 5 lessons I've learned from AFCON 2023 that I believe are essential for life, that I will entreat you to apply in yours. Let me go over very quick. The first one is that overly respecting a higher rank devalues you and strips you of your true potential. The second lesson is that our time will soon be over. So make the most of whatever situation you are in right now, especially the opportunities and the privileges. Number 3, never declare a loss for yourself, especially when there is still some chance at the table for you. Don't declare a loss for yourself. Just keep fighting. In fact, to just explain this a little bit, you are justified to say you have lost when your time is totally over and you have no place, no opportunity anymore. You're actually out of the game completely. But so far as you still have time, you are still breathing. Never say never. Never say die. Don't say it is completely over for you. Keep fighting, because you may not know what glory is still awaiting you once you keep putting in that effort. Lesson number 4, intentionally perfect a rare skill and it will make you outstanding. Lesson number 5, bad decisions can make life decide to work against you. That is it for today. Until I come your way very soon. The next video is already being prepared. So if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button below, turn on the bell so that whenever I post a new video, you will get notified. See you soon in the next video. But until then, remember that change is possible.